Can anyone catch them, do you think?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, unbelievable. We didn't expect that.
Pepe.
Hello, everyone. So welcome to another episode of the Gooners podcast. So this is the episode where I wish I could have started this episode with another song, like what we did last episode about Saka and Smith Rowe, but I could yell at the top of my voice, Lacazett, but that's all I could do. But we've got a good bunch of group today with us, and we've got Arsenal Presser here with us. You guys could follow him in Twitter, Twitch, and everything. His job, covering everything Arsenal has been fantastic. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, and we've got the regulars back. Arun, hi Arun, hi Deepak.
Hello.
Aben, hi Aben.
Hi Vijay. Hello.
Yeah, so let's get this this win on the road. For me, it's a bit died down. When I was watching the game, I literally was going like after the game, 30 minutes after the game, I was still pumped up with adrenaline. I was running around trying to punch walls with the victory and stuff. That's how my reaction was. Arsenal Presser, like how do you define the reaction after the game? How do you define your own emotional state after the game?
That's why I watch football. It's for those kind of moments, where you remember where you were, what you were doing, your reaction, everything to that particular moment. And I think that Lacazette goal was I nearly smashed my TV. I won't lie to you. I nearly smashed my TV. Like when he kicked and it deflected and you didn't know whether it was going in or not, and it was like spinning in the air. I swear I jumped up. I tried to kick it in the net myself, but it's an incredible moment, man. And you can see all the clips that people are bringing out from the stadium. You can see how much it meant to people, man, how people were losing their minds, going crazy. And that's what we want, man. We want that unity in the fan base. We want those kind of moments, and hopefully they continue for a long time, man. It's a great 3 points. I don't care if it's Wolves. I know the reason why it was so special as well, because, Wolves have spent the whole game wasting time, trying to wind us up. The build up to it is all the comments about celebration. So it was awesome to score a last minute winner and celebrate right in their faces, man. Perfect.
Actually, that was that image of Aaron Ramsdale celebrating in front of Ruben Neves was that made my day. But Arun, regarding, he made Arsenal Presser. He made a great point about this whole thing, right? Like where Wolves started time wasting way earlier. It's like literally they went and they said like, oh, Arsenal, you did this to us last game, so we are doing it to you. But the difference is we did to them when we were like 10 men. We are trying to hold on to a game. That's why we tried the time wasting and stuff. But Wolves started it early. I was literally like punching things or like throwing things away when the whole substitution thing happened. So yeah, all those crazy moments.
It's first thing, the substitution was so much fun to watch. All the ruckus that was created was so much fun to watch. Especially when when you had Xhaka trying to push him out of the pitch, trying to push Jimenez out of the pitch. It was frustrating. Like we were all yelling. I was watching the game and was in the middle of a meeting. I couldn't watch the first 20 minutes with sound on, and then that's when they scored. So I couldn't react to their goal either. I was in the middle of a meeting. And then the next 45 minutes were just frustrating to watch, The thing that you mentioned about time wasting, well, when we did waste time, we made sure that we didn't give a chance for that to come and bite us in the bum again. Wolves were not good enough to do that, They basically just gave us an in to the game. They gave us a wonderful opportunity. which sort of extended the amount of time that we played for. 6 minutes extra time doesn't happen in a game where we are chasing a win. It usually doesn't happen to Arsenal. It happens to the opposition when when they need a goal against us. So like these are things that we normally notice, and to actually see that happen, and then for us to actually score a goal, it was unbelievable. Like I was jumping and screaming all around. It was like, you guys are stupid. That's what I want to tell the host. You guys don't know how to do this and not get into trouble. You learn from us. Learn shithousery from us first, and then try doing it. You guys need to learn from us.
I wouldn't go to that extent. We are still.
I would go to that extent. I would say anything I want because we won the game, and it was because of that time wasting that we won. Like I said, it did come back to bite them in the bum. It was like so satisfying to watch. It was so satisfying to watch. More than the win, it was like, you guys did something stupid. You guys are stupid.
But again, right? Like I mean, the most sanest of all, Deepak. I mean, you are the one who would be grounded, who has been saying like, it's still not there. It's still like we are kind of knocking on the door, but we are still not there where we want to be, of course. But still, this win was practically a 6-pointer. Right, we took points out of our direct rivals to top 4, and we have climbed up in the table. Not to mention that United did what United usually does, and so this game in isolation is just a game. But in the context of the season, this is more than just another game that we won.
Yeah,
do you see that?
Yeah, it was a huge win, right? Like as you said. It was literally like a 6-pointer. If we had lost this game, it would have brought down the morale or whatever we built up till now. And since it was a last-minute winner, I don't even remember. I sent in the group, right? I don't even remember when we won like a last-minute winner or even.
Back.
Yeah, that's what I also remember. This was like a huge morale boost for the entire young team, or like whatever Arteta has built the team around, and we can kick on from here as well. So yeah, it's a great 6-point, like 6-pointers or whatever it is. It was a great 3 points for us.
It's a great final win.
but okay, so in that case, Aben, right? Like
just one thing, if I can just add there, like usually when we like read about teams from the past that have won a lot of things or were considered great, you always read like at one point someone either from the club, be the player or manager, saying like that was the game that was a turning point. Like after that we never lost. These are the things that you normally hear. Ever since Arteta came in and they've been asking us to touch the project and it's going to go boom, I've still been waiting for that boom situation with every single win. I'm hoping that this is when we don't start, we don't lose any games from here on. I'm just hoping that this Wolves game is going to be where you don't like lose games from here on. We just manage to draw or win games from here.
I mean, we all hope that we don't lose games ever as Arsenal fans, but we know that's not possible. But Aben, in that sense, like from a fan perspective, I know you didn't go to the game for this game to Emirates, but like in fans' perspective, how are you seeing it? Like, are the fans in the ground feeling this kind of connection with the team, that we are making this progress? Is the process now trusted more than before?
I think yes. We've noticed this. So I've gone to I think 4 or 5 games this season till now, and all the games. Obviously, there are periods when the fans are not very vocal, quiet, but it's matches like these which bring out the best in fans as well. So, but having said that, I think after COVID, fans coming back into the stadium, it has been an amazing atmosphere. Players are lifting the fans are lifting the players, and together, it's like everybody's believing. Like you said, does everybody believe in the project now? I think yes, everybody is believing in the process. We've got such a young squad, so we've got everybody who's coming in. The fans are believing in them. The players are believing in. You should see you saw the reactions, right? How many players who are just going up, come on, bringing up the fans. So it's an amazing experience. So I think I'm pretty sure this match specifically, it was one of those matches. Before we scored, you would have thought this is one of those matches where we're probably gonna lose. We're 1-0 down. It's very frustrating. I'm pretty sure the fans would have been very frustrated till the time we scored the goal. So after that, scoring that goal and then going on to win at I think we scored at the 95th minute. So that
Yes,
would have been amazing. I would have loved to be there. It was not a weekday. I would have been there probably.
So
This was the first match, like in Arteta, like where we came back after trailing in the halftime. This was the first match
Yeah.
to win. Yeah.
it had to happen at some point. It's good that it happened
Yeah.
now.
And
but going deep into the game, right? Like let's talk about the game. What happened in that? Like Arsenal pressure, like AP. So the question is, right? Like when the game started, there was this moment where Martinelli was brought down or like was fouled. For me, it felt like a soft penalty, but it nonetheless, we have seen something like that happen. And we have talked in this podcast, in any of the Arsenal forum, a lot about referee. And these kind of 50-50s nowadays are not going our way. Like literally, Arsenal don't get any of the 50-50 decisions from any referee. No matter who the refereeing situation is, no matter if it's a foul by us, foul on us, we are not getting it. Are you feeling this as like something that's because of Arsenal status in the table, in the club, everything?
I don't really think it's personally against Arsenal. I don't think there's like this nationwide conspiracy.
Thank you. I finally have someone who's like
Yeah,
there
man,
to debunk this conspiracy. Thank you.
Yeah, man, it's not a conspiracy against Arsenal because we're Arsenal, bro. It's just English referees are rubbish. That's the bottom line. The standard of officiating in this country is a mess. The Premier League, Arsene Wenger said it the best. He said no English referee will go to the World Cup, and he was right. You can see how bad these guys are, even with VAR, even with the assistants, even with the chance to look at replays, different angles, they still get it wrong. They're just incompetent. I don't think it's a corruption thing, or I don't think it's a conspiracy against us. I just think they are literally bad at their jobs. And it's just one of those things where maybe we're too nice. Maybe the perception about us is that we're too nice. Maybe I don't want to advocate cheating, but maybe we have to start showing our dirty side more often. I don't know, because you see Harry Kane, he dives in a certain way where it's like 50-50 and he gets those decisions. Maybe we need to start putting our bodies in a certain way in the box, putting our, the way Lacazette has won like 4 penalties this season, which is good, which is great. Maybe we need to put ourselves in those kind of angles more often, make the referee decide for us, I don't think it's against Arsenal. I just think these guys are just bad at their job.
Yeah, but again, like I'll hold on to you for that, right? Like because this topic, we have talked about this in the podcast a lot of times, but the first 15 minutes or first 10 minutes, whatever happens, it's always brushed aside by referees. Like we have had situations where like we have seen fouls being brushed against us. We have seen like penalty decisions being, so anything soft in the first 10 minutes is always brushed aside, which doesn't seem fair, because it doesn't matter if it's the start of the game, it's pretty early, whatever it is, it's still within the rules to, penalize those situations.
So do you think that people see us as soft? Maybe it's not a foul against us because it's Arsenal, or do you? How do you see it?
I see both sides of it, right? Like if you see Man City, like the game that they played over the weekend, that was a clear handball.
It was clear, yeah, it was clear.
But we never get like, yes, these referees are bad. They are incapable of handling situations like this. But why are those always on the negative side of Arsenal? We are not getting anything. Like, do you remember any situation where we went like, yeah, we just got away with that one?
I'm sure there was one. No, but listen, remember, we're fans of Arsenal. Remember, we're very emotionally invested in Arsenal. Anything that goes against us, we remember forever. And sometimes maybe we might watch certain games with other big teams, we might not remember those decisions. There might be decisions that went against them as well, but we don't remember because we don't really care about those teams. We only care about Arsenal, and it's our emotions and our heart on the line. So that's honestly, I think every fan will say this. Referees hate us. There's a conspiracy against us, but I don't think there's a conspiracy, man. These guys are just rubbish at their job.
And the one leading the group of people who are screaming conspiracy, he'll be standing on top of the bus and screaming like it's a conspiracy. That's gonna be him.
Yeah, I would wait till I see any other actual proof to say that my conspiracy isn't working. But really, yeah, I mean, I get the point where referees are, incapable. But in this game, we dug ourselves into a corner with that decision. Deepak, especially, like at the start of the game, within like the first 10-15 minutes, the back pass or whatever that was from Gabriel, we have been trying to eliminate that part of Arsenal from our game, especially if we remember Mustafi, if we remember those days where Kolasinac, Mustafi, and all those back passes would go like would create a lot more trouble for us than for anything else. But seeing that back, it made me go back and say like, oh, we haven't still removed this part of it from our game completely.
Like, I don't think so. Any team has removed like playing out from the back, like those mistakes. Like even last season, you saw like Allison made two huge mistakes. Like you can see Ederson, like who is the pioneer of like playing out from the back. He has made so many mistakes. So I don't think so. Like you can completely 100% like eradicate all those mistakes. I don't think so that is possible. It's just one of like it's the risk you make trying to play out from the back. I don't think I feel like we still have to stick with it, and that's what Arteta wants. So I don't think so. It's one off. I feel.
Yeah, the problem is that every one-off mistake that we make ends up in a goal against us. There are other teams that make the mistake and get away with it.
No, like I gave you examples, right? Anderson, like they made a mistake, they scored a goal. Like who was that? McTominay. He just tripped the ball. It went inside. It doesn't happen like every single time, but it happens to Manchester City. It happened to Liverpool. They are like the best teams, like right now in England. So obviously, it's gonna happen to us. And after all, we are Arsenal. Like whatever mistake happens, we get punished badly. But yeah. So I don't think so. Like it happened, so we shouldn't like do this. I feel like we should continue the way, and that's how the progress is made. You make mistakes and learn from it.
Vijay, I have one question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
When is the last time you remember Arsenal making a defensive mistake and conceding a goal?
Oh, my
Yeah,
memory
it's
is
been a
so
long
bad.
time, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So if it was last season or the season before that, I think we would have had an answer. You would have had an answer immediately. There would have been many mistakes. So I think mistakes have come down for Arsenal defensively. We are improving defensively. Like Deepak said, I think it's just a one-off. There's always a risk. They were pressing very well in the beginning of the match, and Gabriel did a mistake, and it cost us at that moment.
But in that sense, AP, right? Like what Arun said does make sense in like especially Xhaka being pushed up, that it would prevent Xhaka doing what he does closer to our box. But if you remember a little while back, we were giving an excuse when Xhaka was slotted on the left back position, where we were saying like, oh, Xhaka would be able to do better if the whole play is in front of him. So moving him to a left backish sort of position gives him that luxury. Now we are giving another excuse saying like, oh yeah, Xhaka playing up there would prevent a lot of turnovers closer to or him making mistakes closer to our box.
You hate Shaka, don't you?
Yeah, you sound like you hate him, man. You hate Xhaka, bro.
No, I mean, no, I'm just saying like, so are we trying to hide Xhaka in the pitch? That's my question, right? Like, are we trying to hide? I'm not underestimating what Xhaka brings to the team, but it seems like every time we are giving a reason why Xhaka is moved to a certain or asked to perform a certain duty.
I don't think Arteta is trying to hide him on the pitch. I think it's very clear from the second he walked in that he rates Xhaka very highly, regardless of what we as fans think about Xhaka and how many times he's caused us much pain over the years. I think Arteta likes his leadership, he likes his character, and he likes some of his skill set on the pitch. Obviously, he has those kind of brain farts where there's lapses in concentration, but I think Arteta overall likes what he brings, and I don't think he's trying to hide him. I think obviously his dream is to play the 4-3-3, like you guys have said. He said in an interview like a year and a half ago that he still needs about 5 or 6 more players to find that perfect 4-3-3 formation that he wants at Arsenal. And I think Xhaka's just been put in that role where the role he wants that LCM to play. I don't think it's anything to do with Xhaka. He's just the best suited to play at the moment. You're not going to particularly put Charlie Coutinho in at his young age, and you're not going to use Mohamed El Neni, of course. But I think he's just there at the moment. He just fits that role. not that he's perfect for the role, but he's the only guy who can fit that role at the moment. And I think obviously you need in that role, you need some kind of like a box to box kind of player, an all rounder kind of player who can go from up. I think there was times against Wolves where you saw when Wolves were counter attacking us, Xhaka was nowhere to be seen, man, because obviously he couldn't catch up. That's not his fault. It's the role he is in, and that's the physical limitations he has. So I think he's just in that role. Don't worry about Xhaka, man. Don't hate him too much. He's doing his best. He's doing okay. He's doing a role that he's never done before, man. He's doing okay for us in that role.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I hate him, but the thing is, right? Like, I'll ask you this question.
At least not yet. At least.
but would Xhaka be high on your list of replacements needed? Would the position Xhaka plays would be high on the your list?
100%. Yeah. So for me, there's three positions. 100%. You need a striker. You need that LCM, and you need a backup right back. That's for me. Those are the three most important ones. And I'd say the LCM is number 2 to striker, just because literally both of our strikers are leaving in the summer. So that's by default, it's our most important one. But the LCM is very important for the way Arteta wants to play. He needs an improvement on that role. And not to say Xhaka's doing a bad job, because he was okay against Wolves. He wasn't bad. But 100%. If you want to compete for top 3, top 2 for the title one day, it has to be Xhaka has to either be on the bench or just not in the squad at all.
Mm-hmm. Interesting that you brought up right back. Aben, I was about to ask you about right back, because everyone else has talked about like Suarez and Cedric and his contribution to the team, especially in this game. I felt he was better than Tierney, to be fair.
So I think I didn't see anything special out of him. But having said that, he hasn't given us a chance to complain that Tomiyasu is not playing. So all the games he's played since Tomiyasu's injury, he hasn't. We were crying in January when Callum Chambers was sold to Aston Villa. We were crying. Why Chambers? We've got only Cedric Soares as the backup. But to be frank, he hasn't given us any opportunity to complain. He's done his job, what he has to do. I don't think he did anything incredible, but he did his job. That's how I would put it.
That's more than what I was expecting out of Cedric in that sense. Deepak, before we start on the
finally you found something to tell about Tierney, right? He hasn't been great this season. He has been bang average.
Okay, so leaving Tierney out of the discussion, right? Like before we start on Lacazette and his goal and other things, I still want to talk about Odegaard and his influence on this game. He ran himself ragged in this game. By the end of the game, we all saw the images where everyone is celebrating, but Odegaard is just on his knees, heaving the whole thing. But I feel that he still has a way to go. I still feel that apart from the creativity and everything, he still is not finding his shooting boots yet. There were moments where he was screaming for the ball. There were moments where he took the shot. There was one shot that hit the crossbar or something. So I still think there is a gear that he could go up a little bit. But this was a very impressive game from Odegaard.
Yeah, he was really good. As you said, he pulled the strings from midfield. Both the goals, he instigated it. He started the moves and stuff. Both goals went through him. Yeah, last part also we discussed, right? He has to improve his shooting, which I believe which he would, eventually. He's a great prospect, and which everyone knew. He was touted as a wonder kid, right? So I don't think so. This would be his best, in an Arsenal shirt. He would go on to the next level, I feel. But plus, obviously we need goals from midfield. Literally, we need goals. Our strikers can't score goals. That's not everyone.
Just to add on to the topic of Odegaard, and just I saw something on Twitter today. Someone had one of our Arsenal fans had said in 2014 that if we do manage to get Odegaard, we'll win the Champions League in 2024. That's 2 years away. Let's see.
That's a that's the kind of delusion that Arsenal fan alone can have right now.
But who in their right mind would have predicted, like, maybe like 2014, like how old was he? 14, 15? I don't even know if it is Photoshop. Maybe now that I think about it, it makes me think it was Photoshop. But then, it's interesting.
Pepe, your thoughts on Odegaard a bit before we move on to Lacazette.
He's a quality player, man. He's a special signing, man. I'm so happy we got him for, what was it, 35 million? It's a bargain around that kind of price, especially when James Maddison's been quoted for 60 to 70 million. Like,
so were you Madison? Were you in for Madison or Odegaard when the whole thing was going on?
Bro, I can't even say. I don't even know. I know my old tweets are probably there, and people will probably go and get them. But I like both of them, man. I like James Maddison. Maddison's a baller, but I loved Odegaard in his time that he was at Arsenal as well. And I followed his career when he was 16 and signed for Real Madrid. Like, I like both of them, man. I was team both of them. I was happy. Either signing was cool. I was happy we got Odegaard and we had more money to spend on other places as well for that good price. But he's a special player, man. He obviously, the lazy comparison is Ozil, but he does do that kind of job. He recycles possession. He looks for those through balls in the final third. He drifts to the right. He links up with Saka, links up with the right back. He creates those triangles in the final third. Like he's amazing, and he runs as well. So imagine doing all that, and he works hard for the team. He presses, he makes tackles, he wins duels, and he's a leader on the pitch. Of course, there's a reason why he's a captain of Norway. When you've got literally a superstar like Erling Haaland in the team, and Odegaard is the captain. He's a great player to have, man. And I hope we have him for at least like 4 or 5 years, and I hope we have him for much longer. Amazing player, amazing.
There is a rumor or conspiracy about Arsenal fans going like Odegaard's gonna convince Haaland to come to Arsenal if we make the top 4.
Don't do it to yourself, man. Forget it, man. Forget it. Forget it, bro.
Come on, let us dream a little bit. Like Arun was dreaming about us winning Champions League, so let us dream.
I think that's a better, that's more plausible than like us Odegaard being able to convince Haaland to join us. So I think I still win there. Yeah.
But yeah, so we have to get to Lacazette at some point, and the substitutions played a big part before our turn in fortunes, especially. And I felt the manager had the manager has to have a lot of credit, especially taking off Cedric. I was literally going like, who are you going to take off? Because I felt Partey had a good game, Xhaka had a good second half. Odegaard was playing brilliantly. I don't want him to take off Lacazette either, and Saka we know is the one who could create magic. So I literally was going like, okay, we need to add more chaos in this, and we have already replaced Martinelli with Pepe. So whom are we going to replace? We need more chaos in this, and he replaced Cedric with Eddie. Both the substitutions for me worked really well. Aben, a point for manager, is it?
I think definitely, because surprisingly both the goals came thanks to our substitutes. It was Eddie who cut back for Pepe to finish, and it was Pepe who gave the final pass to Lacazette to finish. So definitely points to the manager, but I think it was more of a last throw of the dice to basically put everything on the ground, whatever you have, put all your resources and try to see how you can basically score. Because Wolves were literally defending after scoring. So the onus was on us to attack, break them down. I think they've not lost after going 1-up since 2018, if I remember the stat correctly. So we had to throw everything.
Their results read Boolean, like 1-0, 0-1, 1-0, 1-0, 0-1. Especially even we won against them 1-0. So
we had to throw everything at them. Obviously, I'm assuming all of us were skeptical even when he threw Nketiah on. But fortunately for us, I think he did a good job. This game definitely he did a good job.
Deepak smiling.
Well.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did. He was moving very
Talk more
well.
about it, Deepak. Like when he doesn't do.
Yeah, like that's it. Like he did. Thank you very much. Like see you later.
You slat him so much when he doesn't. But when he does, you should be able to like give him a bit of a a couple more words to it.
I still like it's just a cutback, nothing fancy stuff. Like which I didn't even expect him to do that. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So considering our situation where we don't have a proper striker, and the striker we have is not scoring goals, but he's putting in Lacazette is putting in all the effort he can, link up play, everything is amazing. Considering that we had to throw everything, all our eggs in one basket, and fortunately it worked. It was we won. That's what counts.
I still am waiting for Deepak for one day to go like, yeah, we should retain Eddie.
Never happened.
No, even I wouldn't retain Eddie.
No one like in their sane mind should retain Eddie. Even
Unless
Leeds didn't want him.
No, unless you want to be a mid-table club, you can definitely. No harm in that.
So now that we have arrived at the point of goals, right? I mean, I'm supposed to start with Lacazette, so I'll start with AP. This Lacazette striking situation is such a conundrum, right? We know what he brings to the table. As Arsenal fans, we are appreciating what he brings to the table. He brings in a lot of work. He brings in hard work. He brings in other players into the game. There was a moment in the game where he was, defending at right back and stuff.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, a striker's job is to score goals. Granted, the goal, I mean, I'm going to claim that it's his goal. Whatever be the official statement of it, I don't care. They could tell it as like, oh, it's an own goal or whatever. But for me, it's his goal. How much of this is important in this run, right? Especially because we need our strikers to score goal, and we need Lacazette to score goals during the stretch if we have to finish top 4.
We desperately need him, man. You can't rely on. I know the feel good factor is there. I know everyone loves our Haaland graduates, and I love them too. But you can't rely on Saka and ESR to score enough goals to push you to top 4, man. It's not fair on them at all. Like no other club in the world is doing this kind of thing where you have 2 youngsters leading us in the goal scoring charts. You need at least a couple of experienced players around them chipping in. And Lacazette, listen, I don't mind Lacazette. I'm not his biggest fan, but I appreciate the work he does. I appreciate how he brings others into the game, like you said. I appreciate how he drops into that false 9. Some people call him a midfielder, but even a CDM at times. But I appreciate the way he drops in. He links up. He's selfless. He runs a lot. He tries to go for every duel. Even with centre backs are literally twice his size, he's always trying to back up into them. He's trying to win the aerial duels. I appreciate that, but listen, for him to be only on I think it's 3 league goals, it's not good enough at all. It's really not good enough. All the other stuff is nice and it's great, but it doesn't suffice. It doesn't make up for what that goal tally at all. No other top. Well, I'm not looking at the charts obviously, but our top 4 rivals, man, I'm sure all their strikers, or at least their second strikers, are banging in more goals than 3 goals this season. And we've let go of Aubameyang, of course, in very unceremonious terms and stuff. But the only way that decision will be justified is if we get top 4. If Lacazette pulls through and gives us at least maybe another 5, 6, 7 goals in the next 14 games, then cool. Aubameyang was right to go. It's nice. Everyone can go. I'm a big Aubameyang fan. You can hear. He was my favorite Arsenal player. But listen, if it happens, I'll take one to build this culture, which is great, and hopefully the results show that, because Lacazette needs to step up, man. He really needs to step up. I'm really not here to be watching him miss so many chances every single game and see him in midfield. Because listen, when we were playing that formation, when we had the 3-4-3 and you had the wing backs, and obviously he was the focal striker. You had Aben on the left, so obviously Lacazette would drop in, link up, try and through balls to Pepe and Aubameyang. But now we have a number 10. We have Odegaard, who's there in a central role, sometimes to the right, of course, but we need more of a presence in the box. There's no point doing these little triangles on the sides, working it to the fullbacks, doing cutbacks, and Lacazette is still in the halfway line. There's no point. So, true. I mean, man, we need him to step up, man. 100%, we need him.
That's the point that I was worried about in this game, right? There are two sides that I'm thinking about this game in the sense, like, if we had a different striker to Lacazette, we could have gone 3 goals up. Like, it would have been a 1-3 victory or something. We wouldn't have needed a 90-minute, 90 plus 2-minute, 95th minute, winner. The other side of it is, like, if we didn't have Lacazette and if we didn't do this, the 95th minute wouldn't have been possible, because he was running himself to the ground. Like, I imagine Lacazette I know Lacazette from a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, where like 60th minute he's done running. You could feel him being tired. But this is 95th minute that he's running.
Yeah, that's true. Clearly, maybe his fitness levels have improved. Maybe he understands that, Arteta sees him. Arteta's made a decision and said, "You are my number 1 striker now." And maybe that responsibility inside of him has pushed him. Because even when he first came to Arsenal, you always used to see that Arsene Wenger used to take him off around 70 minutes as well. Like, it's not a new thing. His fitness has always been a bit shaky in the Premier League. Like, it's different to go from the Liga on to the Premier League. The physical demands are way different. And I think obviously that took a toll on his body. And I was a bit disappointed that over the years, he's not really, of course, he's a good player, but I don't think he's really adapted to the Premier League's physicality. Like, in terms of being able to last and maintain that intensity for 90 minutes, I thought maybe he'd turn into a beast by now. But it's still, we're having those discussions about his fitness. But yeah, like you said, recently, especially against Wolves, he was running his socks off for the whole game. He was working hard. Like you said, he was at the left back position, winning duels, starting attacks, then running up the field, which is amazing to see. And I think that's probably him being the captain of the club. He embodies the values of the club very well. Arteta trusts him, and I think he's taken that responsibility on the pitch and made sure that he's leading for the youngsters. Well, credit to him, man. I just hope he can score more goals with it.
But on that topic, like what AP brought, Arun, right? Like, I was worried when Aubameyang left, because Lacazette and Aubameyang, we know how good a mates they were. I was worried that is going to impact Lacazette a bit, but he seemed to have taken that on, Arun, right?
I would expect him to. He's a professional earning like about 200,000 a week. If he's going to cry about his friend leaving the club, then what's the point of calling yourself a professional footballer?
True.
Like I was more worried about like us not getting someone to replace Aubameyang, but like now that we decided not to do the panic buys that we normally do and like not go for any troublebungers, like we have no option but to go ahead with the people that we have, which is Lacazette and Eddie and maybe Martinelli at centre forward. But it's good in theory. I don't think that's going to work in practice. But we have only Lacazette and Eddie right now. We just got to do the best with them. And like when we talk about Lacazette, isolate him for his lack of goals as well. When you call yourself a striker, the primary thing that people expect from you is goals. And it's not just expecting you to score like 2 or 3 goals or like 20 goals in a season. When you get 10 chances, if you're not able to take 2 of them, then your returns are really bad. And these 2 in many situations end up being the 2 out of 5 chances that we create in a game, or maybe even the 2 out of 2 chances that we create in a game. So in those situations, the upgrade that we need on him is not someone who probably does things differently, but more efficiently. That's how I would put it. It's for me, it's his efficiency more than anything. That's a problem.
But do we have anyone like that in the market?
With us, no, we do not. We a guy who's going to be as efficient as we need him to be and fit our system is not going to come cheap. That's for sure. And strikers are high-priced commodities. There's if we are in a situation where we are seeing goalkeepers and defenders being bought for 50, 60 million. So there's no point we are going to get and we spent 60 on Alba, about 50 on Laka, at a time when we were not known as a club that would go out and all out and spend. Right now, we are in a situation where if we do need that commodity, and which we definitely need to get to the next level, I don't think fans would be happy with another season of mediocrity. So if we do need to get to the next level, then the club has no option but to plunge in the market and get a striker. But this club has, at least with the last transfer window, surprised us all by getting quality people at a fraction of the cost that we thought we would be getting them for. When all of us were talking about, we already discussed Maddison for 70 million, we got Odegaard for 35 million. It's not done too bad so far. So I'm just like hoping to get like a surprise like that, maybe like a striker that we pluck out of somewhere who would come in, best suited for the system, doesn't have any time to learn things, and would probably do a better job than what Lacazette is doing right now. Not probably, has to do a better job than what Lacazette is doing right now.
There are Arsenal fans who are saying like Lukaku isn't working at Chelsea. Go ahead and buy Lukaku.
No. No.
He's not going to come cheap.
Plus just because he bullied us in the first week and scored 2 goals and scored 2 goals or 1 goal, what has he done since then? Even when he came back, I was thinking that he wouldn't suit the Premier League as much, like the pace and everything. I was and I'm happy, it's whatever I thought was vindication is a good feeling to have.
Yeah. Deepak, about Pepe, I don't want to go to Arun about Pepe because I know he's gonna gloat. I know he's gonna gloat, so I don't want him to have that moment. But that was a brilliant finish from Pepe. And the last 2 games that he has been brought on, he has looked like someone different. And Arteta mentioned it before, and even after this game, he came out and said like, Pepe texted him even after having a baby that he wanted to be in the team. We all wanted Pepe to be gone. At least you and me wanted Pepe to be gone when there was a time, right? But now it looks like he's not 70 million returning, but he's still our chaos agent. When things aren't going our way, when things aren't working our way, we bring him on, and he's the best finisher in the club at the moment.
Yeah, that is known, right? He's the best finisher. Like when you have Lacazette, obviously Pepe would be the best finisher. So we have seen in like last 2 seasons, like he's like completely a different player in the last 10 or 15 games. Like when the season starts, I don't know what happens to him. He's so bad. Like he's like literally bad. He looks like a Sunday league.
Doesn't it make you wonder sometimes, we should put Pepe in and say this is the 19th game of the season, now start,
Maybe we thought it like there's no pressure on him, so he is performing, but looks like right now the club is like under extreme pressure to finish at top 4 because we are like it's top 4 for us to lose. I would even say we have 3 games in hand against United, even though those are tough games, but still it's like a pressure situation, and he still performed. So it was surprising to see. And like last 2 seasons, there was like literally no pressure on him. It was he scored 3-4 goals at the end of the season, and he just put up numbers to show. That's it.
But in that moment, Pepe, right? Like for me, what feels like Pepe's thing is, in when he's not performing well, when we are seeing that his performance is not as good as we want, it's like the ball arrives to him early, like not inside the box. Pepe is very good in and around the box. If we feed him balls around that area, his finishing is very good, his decision making is very good. Even that finish, that touch, the turn and the finish, that was absolutely brilliant. And after he scored, he took the ball, went to the line and started the game. He didn't spend time celebrating. He didn't spend time. He was like, okay, this is what we should do. Let's keep doing it.
Nicolas Pepe, Arteta said it himself. We're going to need him. If we're going to achieve what we need to achieve this season, we're going to need him to contribute. He's our record signing. That's not his fault. The price tag is not his fault, of course, but we need him to step up. He's at least, how old is he? 26, 27? These are supposedly his prime years. We need to start seeing, we've seen, you go on YouTube, Arsenal fans love to make these comps, they love to make these video packages. Like the guy's got so many skills and so many moments to put in those packages. It's amazing. Like he's got the talent. It's just the application, man. And I think that turn was beautiful, man. To do that against Wolves, that kind of defense, that 5-man defense, those brutish defenders they have, to do that turn in the box, that kind of space, it wasn't even that much space. And how quick he did it and the finish, it was perfect, man. If he's going to do that, come off the bench and do that kind of thing, man, I'm all for it. We need him.
Would you want to swap Lacazette and Pepe
and play Pepe up front?
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, I know Pepe played up front in France a couple of times, but that was for a team that counterattacks. That was a team that was always in transition. Is he going to work in a possession-based team? I doubt it. I doubt it. I think he's okay on the counterattack. Of course, he's quite quick, and he's good in 1v1s. But in terms of having the movement in the box to understand where to be in the final third, I don't know if he's got that kind of in his locker. I don't think it'll work for us. If we're pinging, how we do, you always ping crosses into the box. Of course, Lacazette's not always there, but I don't think Pepe will be an upgrade in that regard.
On top
like
of
you
that,
said,
his
he's
holding ability
chaos.
as well.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
sorry,
Aben, go
sorry.
ahead.
I was just saying, even holding the ball, so I don't think Pepe can do that. He'll probably lose the ball. So up front, I don't think he's an option, to be frank.
I'm surprised with that because for me, Pepe is very good in the air. Like he is strong. He doesn't look strong just like Saka. Like they both look like kind of easy to push around, but they could hold off players, and they are literally strong. And that's why.
Let me ask you this, Vijay, since you feel that it could be a possibility. That we've seen that Pepe, even when there are two people who are marking him, tends to lose the ball because he stays on the ball for too long. Right, we've seen that when he's playing as a centre forward, if not three centre backs, so there are going to be at least one or two centre backs plus a defensive midfielder who's going to definitely mark him. Where do you see him holding the ball? Where do you see him keeping the ball and passing it on to someone who could possibly play?
See, for me, Pepe, the problem with Pepe is that it's not about holding on to the ball or him not able to, do the physical work. It's that when he decides to run with the ball, when he has to move with the ball and taking on 2 or 3 players, that's when he struggles. So putting him inside the box is his decision making. He's not bad in making the passes. He has an eye for passes. It's just that don't give him the space to run, especially into traffic, right? He's not someone.
Well, it's not something that you can stop. Just try. I mean, every time he is going to run into traffic, that's what he does every single game.
Yeah, but we are not expecting him to carry the ball. That is what I was getting at, right?
Okay.
It's the carrying the ball that he has a problem in. At least I find that as a problem. Pepe carrying the ball into the traffic is the problem. But if he's in the end of things, if he is the one who's at the end of a pass that Odegaard makes, or a pass that Saka makes, or on a rebound that of a Saka shot, I don't find that he would be a worse option than Lacazette.
But we are not playing like that, right? Everything revolves around Lacazette.
Yeah.
Lacazette is the one who is making those passes, not everyone. Pepe, if he's trying to run behind, in the first two, let's say 40 or 60 minutes, I think they will simply mark him out of the game. Like you said, he's the chaos agent. I feel he's best coming off the bench and causing some problems for the tired defenders.
Okay.
I think Pepe might score goals, but we might lose goals from the midfielders.
That is true. But yeah, this is, I think we have talked enough about the game. There is one more thing that I want to discuss before we, call it quits. AP, regarding the sanctions, especially, I don't know if it is official that Abramovich is there something happening there at Chelsea? Is Abramovich gonna go away? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel for us that Chelsea is gonna go down at last?
I'm not too sure about that, man. We need a bit more clarity in the situation. Of course, listen, there's a very tense situation going on in that part of the world between Russia and Ukraine. And I think obviously the sanctions against a lot of Russian businessmen and companies and everything is going, very extreme, which is great, which is fantastic. But I think he's just put himself in a position where he just wants to protect Chelsea a bit. That he said he's handing over care of the club to the trustee board members or whatever. He didn't say anything about not being the owner. He didn't say anything about not being involved financially or investing.
Exactly. Who cares if he's giving the control to someone else? All we care about is whether he's going to pump in the money anymore or not.
Exactly. So it seemed like apparently it's going to be Peter Cech and their technical director, what's her name, Marina, I think, or something like that. But they'll be making the footballing decisions themselves. They have the power now to execute those decisions. But There's nothing about him, his investment or his funding. So for now, I'm not going to celebrate until I see that. I see Chelsea in the mud. But for now, man, it's just politics, man. Even today, they released a statement about how they're concerned about what's going on in Ukraine. A very see-through statement, a very farcical statement, man. I don't believe anything that club does. So we'll see. Until there's actually official sanctions, bro, don't celebrate.
Actually, today
It's
is
the most ridiculous statement I have seen from a club. They didn't like condemn or any words like against Russia, or they didn't even mention anything about the war.
Exactly.
But good news is they lost cup with Kepa shooting over to the moon at the end of the penalties, and I'm happy with that for now. But AP, I know we are running out of time, but do you see us finishing in top 4 at this point?
Well, listen, we're the favorites. Well, it's ours to lose now. I know, obviously, going to the season, that wasn't the aim. A lot of people were saying, just get us back into Europe. I'll tell you, just get us back top 6. We're okay, we're happy. And I was one of those people. I just said, improve on the double eighth position finishes, get us in top 6. Cool. Then we have a platform to build on for the next season, top 4. Then who knows, in 2 years or 3 years. But listen, expectations can change throughout the season. I don't think it's about moving the goalpost. I don't think it's going to be unfair on Arsenal if we say, oh, we don't finish top 4, we're disappointed, because look how it's panned out. Nobody expected Man United to be the mess they are today. Yeah. With the firepower, like, listen, I'm a Ronaldo fan, innit? Ronaldo's the GOAT for me anyway. So bringing in Ronaldo, bringing in Varane, and who else did they bring? Someone else, but Sancho. How can I forget Sancho? That massive, anyway, forget him. But all the players they brought in, they finished second last year. How they've not built upon that, how they've regressed so badly. Nobody expected that. And we were all looking at it thinking, there's no way we're going to finish above Man United. So there's already Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man United. There's no way we're going to finish above any of those 4 teams. But Man United have flopped. Tottenham, we didn't really consider Tottenham as that kind of bigger threat. Tottenham are Tottenham, man. They're Spurs. But the Conte thing is, maybe we thought Conte would push them up. It's not worked that way. But, when you have 2 elite goal scorers like Harry Kane and Son, anything's possible. You can play rubbish for the whole game. If you've got those 2 players on the pitch, anything can happen. So I just think now, I'd be disappointed not to finish top 4. We're out of every single other cup competition. We've got nothing else to focus on. No long-term injuries. There's nothing. No kind of drama going on in the club. There's no, of course, the Aben thing was overshadowing what was going on the pitch. But now he's gone. There's no excuses for me. I think, we say 1 game a week, but obviously some of the fixture congestions will pile up for us. But still, it's 1 game at a time. It's just 14 games left for the next couple of months. No excuse, just give it your all. As a fans, obviously, we have to support them, but I think we'll be hearing the Champions League theme tune next year at the Emirates.
But, okay, let me put it this way. Yes, obviously, every one of us want to finish top 4. But is it like, if we don't finish in top 4, would you consider that a failed season?
I think failure is a bit harsh, but I think, failure is a very, very harsh word, but it'll be disappointing. I can't lie. And I know, obviously, we as fans now, we have this very young squad, the youngest squad in the Premier League, and we look at them like, we wrap them up in like cotton wool. They're like our babies or whatever, but still, you have to be real. You have to be honest. For me, it'd be very, very disappointing not to finish top 4 from this position. We have these games in hand. We're beating our rivals around us. We have 1 game a week. We only have the Premier League to focus on. Some of our other, competitors are in different competitions. Like they stretch their squad. We're just focusing on 1 game a week. For me, I cannot. There's no situation where I see Arsenal not finishing in the top 4 and I'm happy. I finish the season happy, like content. Top 6 is good. It's okay. It's progress. But for me, it's not a great season. Top 4 would send me to the moon, I swear.
Yeah, but okay. In that case, like top 6, we finish in top 6 and we get into Europa and we win the Europa. Wouldn't that be better than, finishing in top 4, crashing out of a Champions League in the, first big team that we come across?
What do you get?
Go on.
You still get more money like playing in Champions League than winning Europa.
Yeah, but you get a trophy at the end of it. Do you think
I don't care.
Carabao
the
Cup is
money
a
for the
trophy. Like, would
trophy.
you prioritize that over something else? It's like we are not talking about trophies now. We have like the Champions League trophy, the fourth spot trophy that we have to aim for and keep going up. But not forget about Europa League. Come on.
Yeah, forget
There
about
is no guarantee. Also, we are going to win Europa. We
exactly.
have to like travel around the continent, like go somewhere to Turkey or wherever we go, and we might lose. So I would gladly take a Champions League than
Even
finishing
even if you
Europa
forget
place.
about winning a trophy or anything, you want to play with the best teams
Yep.
in Europe, and you have to be in Champions League. We consider Arsenal to be right at the top. Arun said probably we'll win Champions League in 2 years, right? So we want to be there right at the top. So it has to be Champions League any day, irrespective of money, trophy, or anything.
Maybe your thoughts.
Yeah, 100%. I was just going to say that I'd rather listen. We've been in the Europa League like what 4, 5 times. We've not won it once. Listen, we've been to a final. That's great, but you know how embarrassing it is to be in a competition that we once looked down upon, and we still can't win that competition. You know, I'd rather listen. I don't care. Get us in the Champions League. We finish second in our group. We draw Bayern in the whatever the knockout stage. We lose 8-2. I don't mind. Listen, it's cool. As long as we have that Champions League football, we can build upon that. We have the money from that, and we have that prestige. Players want to play for teams in the Champions League. That's their dream. That's the elite competition in the world. So just get me in the Champions League, man, and we'll go from there. Just put us there. No more Europa League. I don't want to be hearing that competition anymore, man. I'm tired.
Absolutely. Every one of us wants, Arsenal to play in Champions League and win the Champions League. But we are surely getting there. We are slowly but surely getting there, is what I'm hoping. And this Wolves win is one step closer to that. That dream of getting back there and being one of the best teams in the world. But thank you guys. Thank you for joining in. It's been an absolutely pleasure today to talk about this victory and have you AP on the podcast. I mean, it's absolutely pleasure to have you, and hopefully you join us more in the coming weeks, coming days, talking more about Arsenal.
100%, man. Thank you very much for having me on, man. You guys are cool. Thank you.
For any of you listeners who want to follow AP, you could you could follow him in Twitter, Twitch, and everywhere. And he puts out great content everywhere. And for our regular visitors, viewers, listeners, anyone, please do like, share, and subscribe, and comment in your views on the game. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining in, and talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.